Posterity, the podcast with Aaron-Michael Fox and Eric Crusan is starting now.
All right, you're listening to For Posterity, the podcast with Aaron-Michael Fox and Eric Crusan.
So if I'm not a terrorist, I'm a reptile. That's what you're saying. If I'm not Crusan, which they called me at the hospital yesterday in front of everybody.
They called you what?
Crusan. Eric Crusan. That sounds, looking the way I look, that sounds way too much like Crusan. And then here I'm standing up limping, wobbling across the, like...
I just called you Crusan in the last episode. It's a joke.
No, that's what they called me.
That was a comically exaggerated.
I said, that's Crusan, and they said, Mr. Crusan, this way. I should have been like, I'm not going till you get my name right. If you're not smart enough to know my name, I'm not talking to you.
That's an inside AMF joke right there.
Yeah, that was 4-year-old Aaron-Michael right there.
4-year-old AMF to a bishop, or I don't think Baptists have bishops, but the greeter at the front door of the church kept calling me Little Mike, and finally one Sunday I stopped and said, "If you're too stupid to know my name, I'm not even going to talk to you."
Because even then he was this cocky.
All right, this week we're doing another theme drink episode. Long-time followers of our previous 5 episodes.
Long time. If you've been alive for 2 years at least, it's a quarter of your life.
Followers of our previous 5 episodes will no doubt remember the famous hard root beer episode.
Good times.
So this week we have Red's Wicked Apple Ale. Emphasis on the wicked. This is the big boy. This is the 8% alcohol model that we have here. This is the V8. I hadn't had it before Saturday. I got it for the Marshall game, and quite frankly, I want to replace that memory.
So we're drinking the same beer, so he'll forget.
Yes.
I don't want to be reminded of it. This is the same beer I had that day.
Yeah, so it claims to be an apple ale, union made, the can at least. But made like a beer with apples.
This could be horrible or it could be amazing.
Have you had it before?
I think so, but I've had a lot of different kinds of beers.
Okay, so, all right, here's, cheers. Heightened by the truck driving by.
It's pretty good. It tastes like apple juice.
A little dangerous in that regard, right?
I would say. Hope you don't have a lot of these. This podcast is going to get very interesting.
I got a full 6-pack.
All right, you guys are in for a ride.
This is going to be a really awesome or really awful podcast.
All right, look. I just got a message from my sister. Keep in mind, my sister is blind for the most part. She can barely see anything, but I talk to her on Facebook Messenger all the time. And she asked me, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Recording the podcast." And she said, "Why would you put that on Facebook?"
Why would you put that you're recording the podcast?
Yeah, so I was like, what? What did I put on Facebook? I thought she was talking about something I put earlier. Because earlier I put I was in the hospital. Maybe I thought she was talking about that. She said, no. Oh, Mom had to reread it to me. I thought you said reorganizing the product. What does my sister think I do when I'm not recording podcasts? I'm just not cutting up weight.
You call it the product?
We're professionals. I mean, I would assume if I was doing that I wouldn't be.
I've never heard it referred to that way outside of an NWA song. Searching for the product. That's all I've ever heard that.
Thinking every brother is selling narcotics.
Okay. Hope we're the first half pint into our wicked hard apple
I'm
ale.
drinking this way too fast. There's no way this is...
Eric's 2/3 into his first pint. So if we sound a little...
Yo, we'll be able to tell. We'll actually put links like in the timeline, like at 10 minutes in, Eric fell out of his chair. I had a moment of clarity today.
Okay.
Speaking of drinking, I shun family. Like, I completely put off a family get-together to come and drink.
I was...
And record a podcast. I don't want you to think that this is secondary. It just goes hand in hand, like drinking and smoking, drinking and podcasting.
That's what the podcast has basically become, is the only way to really ensure an appropriate idiot level of conversation that we desire for this. We kind of have to be drunk, I think.
And that's how it started anyway. We were just drunk. It was like, hey, look at me. Hey. We should totally do a podcast because I love you, man.
How many drinking buddies have had the conversation, this is genius, we should have a TV show, the world needs to know about
this. The name of this podcast would be This is Genius.
Subtitled, The World Needs to Know About This.
Becoming a problem, I think, the drinking is.
Says you who turns down family obligations. It could be.
Well, that's not the only thing. Last week, I had the set at Black Sheep, and I came over here first because we were supposed to record the podcast last week.
We didn't record the podcast last week. We didn't.
The whiskey was delicious. And before I knew it, I was in your bathroom floor in front of the toilet.
The whiskey was not delicious.
It was delicious. Oh my God. I've never had charcoal filtered whiskey that tasted like this before. And I'll drink a $1.75 pint of fucking Barton's vodka. I've done it many times.
I still don't know how I managed to spatula you off the floor of the bathroom and have you on stage in front of a microphone or behind a microphone 40 minutes later.
Here is what this asshole did. While I'm passed out in his bathroom, he takes a picture and sends it to the comics that are at the show already and says, I don't think Crusan is going to make it.
I gave you fair warning. I gave you a countdown. I said, I'm going to document this. 3, 2.
I don't remember any of this. I remember the countdown. I remember bracing myself to whatever was going to happen at 1.
And I stood there after 1 for at what felt like 5 minutes before. I made sure the sound was turned up so the camera sound effect was as loud as possible. I'm like, I just took your picture. And still,
did I say anything when you said that?
Is what you said. At which point I made the executive decision that Eric's probably not going to make it on stage in 35 minutes.
He has no faith in me as a comedian.
The timeline here is at 9:10. Eric's on stage. What are you at? This is
9:50-ish.
9:45.
I went on next to last.
Somewhere around in there. At 9:10 is when I send the picture of you on the floor. Show starts at 9. 9:10 is when I send the picture of you on the floor of the bathroom saying he's not going to make it.
Thanks for that.
And then I accept full responsibility.
So then, I
9:13. 3 minutes later, I text, we're on our way. 9:14, I text, walking, sort of. And that's when...
Well, here's the message I got when I got up. Was I'm on my way. I didn't think I was going to make it. I'm pretty hammered. And my friend said, I know we saw the picture. And I'm like, what picture? So I finally see the picture and I'm pissed. Like we're walking the Black Sheep. I don't remember the whole walk. Apparently, I had tore off the bandage I had on my stomach.
Cellophane wrap out of the street.
No, apparently I took that off because I don't need that on top of everything else. So I get to the show, and people are just coming outside and acting like I just left the cancer ward. And then, oh, are you going to go on? And I'm like, yes. Why would I get up off of a bathroom floor, which I know that you know about, to walk 8.5 blocks to not do anything?
The greatest behind-the-scenes moment of that for me was the discussion we had over which bathroom you should go to pass out into.
Dude, I'm so glad I passed out in that bathroom. That bathroom is 1,000,000 times better than passing out in the other bathroom.
I'm aware. That's the guest bathroom.
But anyway, long story short, or I'm going to wrap this long story up. I had a great set. It went a whole lot better than I could have.
You will say. We'll say it.
I've had many compliments on this. Mostly I was asked, how do you go from this picture to what you just did?
It was a good set, all things considered.
It was a good set. It's not the first time I've been drunk on stage, obviously. I've blacked out on stage. Like, I didn't go on stage. Like, I was drunk, but I actually blacked out while I was headlining the set.
You weren't headlining my club, were you?
No. You're not having that. I couldn't even tell new jokes when I was working yours. I want to hear puppies. Had an amazing set.
I want to hear
Huntington Live. Amazing. I was opening for the Tennessee Tramp 2 nights in a row. First night.
Shout out to Janet Williams.
Went completely off. I didn't do any of my old stuff. I just went completely off the head.
Old stuff. You've been doing comedy 6 months.
But the stuff that I've been doing up to that point. I didn't do any of that. I did exactly like I did at the fucking Black Sheep. And this is what
Eric Crusan improv.
This is what Aaron-Michael says to me after the show. You had a great set. I'm not saying it wasn't good. But tomorrow night,
I was trying so hard to be nice.
But tomorrow night, I want to hear puppies. Like you did. What are you talking about? I did great. He said, I know, but you can't risk it.
This isn't the time for your new stuff. I want to hear your greatest hits.
Exactly. Yeah, pretty much. I want to hear what people come to see you for. Like I'm fucking Jeff Dunham. But anyway, they said I was headlining, and I was drunk already. And I remember asking for a shot of Jaeger. And my cousin handed me a shot of Jaeger, and that's the last thing I remember. Like, the show went fine.
How many stories have you got that
paid.
way?
Not a lot.
I took a shot of Jaeger, and that's the last thing I remember.
Oh, I thought you meant that's literally the last thing I remember. I do know that I went to the bathroom in the middle of my set. Not on stage, mind you. I went to the bathroom. Had the mic been cordless, they would have all went to the bathroom with me.
Well, you know, I
was told this because I don't remember it.
You know, I had to run off stage to vomit.
Well, that's understandable. But who leaves to go pee and come back and then finish a set?
That's the beauty of that. Is I tried to come back. I left to go vomit in what became the vomitorium, the bathroom, and tried to go back on stage, but the general manager of the club wouldn't let me. Angry, not that I ran off stage, but that I threw the mic down and got feedback through the PA system without waiting for somebody to come up and take the mic from me.
Yeah, I just went to the bathroom and came back and finished my set like I'd never left.
This is a blues club in North Carolina. Like it's not even a normal comedy club.
This is a dive bar in South Point. It's kind of different.
It's okay. It's a dive. It's a dive blues.
Whenever you're at a urinal and a drunk guy in a cowboy hat rubs you on the shoulder and says, "Hey, you're doing great." It's not exactly the highest class joint. It was fun. I got paid. It was a great show, but I don't need massages while I'm pissing, especially when I don't remember it. Who knows what else happened?
This gig was pretty much on par. When I say like a blues club, that sounds a little glamorous. My point is, there's like 20 guitars on the stage behind me. I'm gesturing like the audience can see here, but there's like 20.
For the record, there's no guitars behind him.
Yeah, there's like 20 on the stage of this gig. There's like 20 like very nice guitars decorating the stage, and I'm going, really? I'm either going to throw up on the audience, or I'm going to throw up on your guitars, and you're upset over the mic feeding back. I think we opted for the lesser of all evils here, personally.
I'd rather you throw up on the crowd.
I paid a $5 cover. They get what's coming to them.
It's like Gallagher, only gross.
Gross hurt. Are we allowed to say Gallagher?
He doesn't care. He's happy to be mentioned. He'll probably repost this like they brought me up.
That was Gallagher. That was Gallagher.
Hey guys, I'm just on my way to get some produce for my big comeback.
I'm gonna be at the Comedy Zone in Charleston this weekend. All right, changing it up now. The Reds Wicked Black Cherry we've got now. Still sticking.
I'm really skeptical about black cherry beer. Like apple beer, I can kind of see,
It's
but
an ale, actually.
whatever. Like saying it's not crack. It's cocaine cut with baking soda.
I wasn't listening. That's okay. I'm actually.
It looks exactly like the apple, which makes me even more concerned.
I feel like
I'm pretty sure black cherries are supposed to look like apple cider.
I feel like this is exactly the same as the apple with black cherry flavoring.
All right, let's find out.
I bet it's still made with apples.
All right.
I'm looking for like an ingredients list here. All right. That's black cherry.
Yeah, it's no apple at all in there.
That's definitely black cherry.
It's not bad. It tastes like... I'll probably drink it too fast.
Yeah, I got to be honest. That's kind of dangerous, actually. All right, Eric's halfway through his first pint
God,
of the
is
black
amazing.
cherry. This is 8% alcohol.
This is better than the apple to me.
This is really dangerous.
I would
This
rather
is
have
really
this than the
dangerous.
apple.
I'm
I love
really
the fact that
impressed.
I'm wearing the same shirt I was last Wednesday, so when you take my picture again in front of the toilet, I just be like, oh no, he just completely used the same picture again.
Yeah, amazingly, I'm pretty sure we're both wearing basically the same thing. Was I wearing the shirt last week?
Yes, I remember people commenting on the poly.
The Bollywood shirt?
Yeah.
You know, this was...
Is that where we're at now? We just get drunk and wear the same thing like homeless people?
Well, I mean...
This
I
has
did a
been
wash.
This has been washed since last time, but...
I think we just... To be honest, I planned to wear my Jameson
You know
Comedy
what? Forget that.
tour
To be
shirt.
honest, we're poor, and we only have so many clothes for a week.
We are very poor. But
I have a schedule for the clothes that I wear.
I don't schedule it, but I did today plan to wear my Jameson Comedy Tour shirt, and it turned out to not be clean.
You're a bad planner.
Yeah,
Hence the podcast.
It was that mostly clean. You know what I mean? Like I haven't spilled anything on it, haven't really sweated in it, but it smells like deodorant. You know, like it just smells worn. So I'm like, well, I can't. Yep, no good there.
Cologne won't cover this.
Nope. And we're at that. Like, I'm really looking forward to summer being over. Like just being able to wear one article of clothing all day.
Dude, I miss my sweatshirt.
Like, it's ridiculous. I mean, like, you walk out, like, showering is almost pointless. You walk out the door, and you're immediately sweaty.
I try to dry off, and I'm immediately sweaty. And I'm not even allowed to take hot showers or baths because of my skin condition. Like, I have to take cool, to lukewarm baths.
See, that's one of those things that would be fine if you lived in Florida or California.
Yeah, but it's not.
Yeah, that's going to suck in January.
It sucks now.
The wicked black cherry, not quite so good through the nose.
No. It's not a snorting product.
No, I went through a few years, a few winters where the hot water tank wasn't quite up to snuff.
But I hate having to take cold showers all the time or bath. Like,
Well,
I feel like I'm trying to just like a pervert or something every day.
What I find amazing is out of all of the things that your average doctor would tell you to do or not do, the hot cold shower is the point where you decide to listen.
I do everything they tell me to do.
Oh, bullshit!
Granted, I'm not supposed to drink on my medicine, but that's the least of my worries. I don't want to take cold showers.
How many things can we list off that would violate the average doctor's, so you're not supposed to do this, right, list?
Okay.
And the hot cold shower. And this is, pot calling the kettle black. I'm just saying. I like that's the point where you decided to draw the line.
That's the easiest thing for me to do out of everything that you listed. Like, I can't drink orange juice. You know how great orange juice is? Especially with vodka in it? Like, you have any idea?
Yeah, I like
can't
a good
put,
mimosa,
like any kind of fruit juice I can't really have because of the acid in it. That limits my vodka intake tremendously.
You sound so much right now like Jonad from Veep, who's allergic to fructose and can't eat any fruit.
It sucks. It's horrible.
So what about the black cherry? I guess it's a good thing it's not really black cherry.
Yeah, I'm telling the doctor, it's bitter. It's not.
Apples, I assume, are okay.
I hope. We'll find out tomorrow when I'm swollen up on the couch.
We're going to find out. If Eric's in the hospital tomorrow, we know why.
That reminds me, like you saying you want to go back and get the mango. Me and my uncle went to Long John Silver's when they first had their chicken, shrimp, or fish wraps. And the guy was like, yeah, I want a barbecue wrap. And he was like, shrimp, fish, or chicken. And we were so fucked up. My uncle went into Samuel L. Jackson. What the fuck you mean, shrimp, fish, or chicken? He was like, sir, you have to pick an ingredient. Shrimp, fish, or chicken. What the fuck you mean, shrimp, fish, or chicken? Motherfucker, I said I want a wrap. I'm like, can you tone it down a little bit? They still have to make this, and I'm sure you want ranch.
That's what why was he?
What the fuck you mean? He drug out the mean.
Did he think he got all of them?
Yeah, like I don't know what he thought the guy was asking him.
I'm ordering a chicken,
He couldn't even say,
shrimp.
sir, I'm not sure what you mean. He said, what the fuck you mean? Shrimp, fish, or chicken. Like, it's clearly obvious what he meant.
Man, why
Why am I letting him drive?
What is it that
What the fuck you mean, stop sign? What the fuck you mean, one-way road? Dead in my ass. I'm going home.
Like that old terrible joke I used to have about getting in a fight with the stop sign. Go, bossy bastard, tell me to stop again.
I'm not listening to you.
Then I had to ruin it with the lame tag. Oh, he thought his face was red before.
You really said that?
I really did, yeah. Early bit.
Oh, okay.
It was in the same generation of jokes that I wrote where I had a car that got totaled, hit from both sides at an intersection. Two cars both ran red lights at the same time. One hit me in the right fender, one hit me on the front, one hit me in the left fender on the back, and bent the frame. Tried everything to straighten it out, couldn't do it. But the way it was bent all up, no matter what, couldn't make that S car go.
Wow.
Yep.
You should write for Jeff Dunham.
Yeah, escargot.
Like, that's clearly a Jimmy Fallon Tonight Show monologue
Yeah,
joke.
that got a lot of
Yeah. all. You should have got an all.
Yeah.
You should have got to get the fuck off the stage. Shouldn't he be throwing up by now?
Ooh. Well, I don't. You already. I was going to use the beer pour sound as the segue in. The apple ale sound. Pour sound.
You don't have to keep saying it like we're getting paid to say apple ale. Like you could.
That's not even.
You keep bringing it up like they're sponsoring the show. We're just getting drunk off their product. It's like saying, I want to thank Carlos for this episode for supplying us with the candy we needed.
I never take when I go on stage with a bottle of water. I never leave the label on, because after a show at Virginia Beach, the Funny Bone, guy comes up to me on the patio and goes, "So is I want to go with Perrier paying you to, are they sponsoring your show?" And I'm like, no.
First of all,
and he's like, because the whole time you're on stage, all I'm seeing is the Perrier label stare me in the face.
You went on stage with Perrier?
No, I can't remember what it wasn't. It wasn't even a sparkling water. It was whatever the club had. I wanted like a Spring Valley. I don't know.
Same thing.
It wasn't important.
That's what you went on stage with?
I mean, it was whatever the club had is their water. Like when you say, "Can I get a bottle of water?" and they give you a bottle of water. It's whatever. Hell, it could have been Fiji. I don't know. It was no, it definitely wasn't Fiji because I couldn't have pulled the label off so easy. But my point, the guy's like, because the whole time you're on stage, all I'm seeing is that label staring me in the face. So I pulled the label off, and I was like, "Oh, there, okay? Are we cool now?" And he just kept like, rednecky jabbering on about it. So ever since, I've never gone on stage with a water bottle or any beverage that has the brand name on it to prevent irritating rednecks arguing with me after the show.
Why was that important to him?
Particular
like,
topic.
Why did he care?
Why is this stuff important to any dumbass redneck? Like, why? Like, oh, that's the thing? Like really, that's where we're drawing the line now?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't... That's why I say, like, at least on that particular point, I hopefully... But given my luck, some angry redneck's going to come up to me going, "Hey, what, are you a socialist? Why you can't... You got to tear the label off to make sure nobody knows what you're drinking? What, do you hate Spring Valley water? What's your problem? You communist?"
What's the point? No, that's not going to happen.
There's somebody that's going to be pissed off about everything, I guess, is what I'm saying. No matter what you do, somebody's going to be pissed about it.
That's the internet's fault.
No, that's just people's fault. Like, this was... no, I mean, I'm not going to say this was pre-internet. the Virginia Beach incident. But it was... this was 5 or 6 years ago that happened. So, I mean, it was... less so than it is now. It wasn't like every news article had a comment section that people felt was important as what the actual article said. Oh, we got a paid author hired by the New York Times to go research this and write their expert opinion on it. And then we're also going to give equal credence to Jimmy Joe dumbass redneck that just happens to read it and have an opinion on the matter and gets first comment on it.
Jimmy Joe.
It's always a hyphenated name. Jimmy Joe,
I've
Billy
never
Bob,
heard it in that order before.
Aaron-Michael.
I've heard that. But Jimmy Joe.
Every dumbass redneck has a hyphenated first name.
But most of them are bimbos.
Bimbos?
Yeah. Yeah, like the blonde hair.
I'm aware of, yeah.
You know what a bimbo is.
I'm aware.
That's what I'm saying. Like Bobby.
My first go-to.
Like a Bobby Joe type.
All right, I'll give you that one. But my first.
Kathy Lee. Yeah.
she might be
I'm not saying
white
her in
trash,
general.
but
I'm
she's
just saying
not,
the
she's-
name itself with the hyphen.
No, the first go-to for me is like a Billy Bob, a Larry the Cable Guy type, sleeveless,
Yeah.
suspenders over, oh not suspender
That's what I'm
overalls, Billy Bob, you know. Aaron-Michael, I don't see it. Yeah,
You don't see a difference
Nope.
between Billy Bob and Aaron-Michael?
not in most cases.
Neither does anybody else.
He stole my balloons! Why didn't anybody tell me I had one of those things? Okay, apparently we're done. And so ends the podcast for Posterity for this week. Eric, say goodbye.
Bye.
That's lean into the at least point toward the computer. They can't see your head shaking. You-
Can't do it.
Okay, this has been Aaron-Michael Fox and say your name. Say your name. You, Eric Crusan.
You've been doing it this whole time. Why do I have to do it now?
All right, this has been Aaron-Michael Fox and Eric Crusan.
Asshole. Eric Crusan.
Eric Crusan.
Yes, not saying or saying. Neither of those are accurate.
And a review of the Wicked Ale.
It's too strong for its own good. It's dangerous. It's too sweet. It's like drinking apple juice quickly, which is not good when it's like 8-something%.
I think Eric's floor bound again this week.
I think I can pull it off. I'm sweating like a slave right now. Cruising down the street in my 6'4", jocking the bitches, slapping the hoes. Went to the park to get the scoop. Knuckleheads out there cold shooting some hoop. A car pulls up and who can it be? A fresh El Camino rolling Kilo G. He rolls down his window and he started to say, it's all about making that GTA. Cause the boys in the hood are always hard. Come talking the trash, we'll pull your card. Knowing nothing in life but to be legit. Don't quote me, boy, cause I ain't said shit.